Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to have everyone here. I'll be MC for today's Speaking Corners program. The name's given Dame Zarhani Mityamatamizi, and you can call me Zara for short. You see, you must be wondering why are we holding this program here and today. You see, the program is an initiative from Perpustakaan Sultan Balisha with the help from Beliefs Club. The purpose of this program is to improve communication in front of audience, disseminate knowledge, and provide space for individuals to communicate in front of audience and build self-confidence. This program will cover over three main themes, which is our personal growth and life skills, health and wellness, social media, and digital life. These themes will be addressed by 15 speakers, which consists of three groups, each of whom will have 3 until 4 minutes to talk. All speakers, please buckle up. We will start in just a few minutes at approximately at 9 a.m. So please give it up for our first speakers, Nur Alia Hanan binti Mat Sulaiman, with 3 ways to manage time better.
Thank you, MC. Hi, I'm Elia, and today I would like to give a speech about 3 ways to manage time better as a student. If I'm wondering if how you guys manage your time, I'm sure that most of you will say that you will create a timetable, right? Well, have you ever thought about prioritizing tasks, create a work schedule, and use tools that work for you? Well, let's begin with the prioritizing tasks. Sometimes there are too many things to do at the same time, right? But you can prioritize the task based on the nearest deadline. But if there's a simplest task to do, complete them as soon as possible so there is no wasted time. Let's move to the schedule. Create a work schedule. Once you know how to prioritize your work, you can fit them into your work schedule. You can simply start with the complete the house chores, complete the daily activities before begin with your assignments. By them, you can maximize your time use and reduce your wasted time. Lastly, use tools that work for you. There's three tools that you can use, which is first one is calendar and planners. Calendar and planners you can use for long-term planning and long-term deadline. While scheduling, if your schedule is too packed, you can even schedule day by day or even hour by hour. This can reduce your stress slowly. Lastly is note taking. There's three note method that you can use, which is the first one is the corner method. You can use while during the lectures or study by yourself. Or the second one is the outlining method, which is you can see the flow of the information. The last one is the charting method. The charting method helps you to differentiate the different idea of the information that you receive. To wrap up our discussion today, let us recap what we have learned today. Today we have learned 3 ways to manage time better as a student, which is which are prioritizing tasks, create a work schedule, and use tools that work for you. I hope after you hear this speech, it can help you to manage your time better than before. Thank you.
Nur Alisha binti Cik Muhammad Shafi'i for 3 habits of productive students. Give it up.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nalisha and today I will talk about the habits of being a productive student. First and foremost, I could say that we all want to be productive in something, right? As a student, we all want to be a productive student, but some of us doesn't know how to do it. Everyone, that is why I'm here to talk about the 3 habits to become a productive student, which are make advanced plans, do one thing at a time, and lastly, effectively manage the time. According to Cambridge Dictionary, productive students mean causing or providing a good result or a large amount of something. By Lestari, she said that for students, productivity refers to their efforts and ability to perform efficiently in their studies. Without wasting more time, let us see the first habit of productive students, which is make advanced plans, where students need to set up their own short-term academic goal. The goal. Do you guys know what the real meaning of the goal is? By Collins Dictionary, goal is something that you hope to achieve, especially when time and effort will be needed. Students, you have to make sure the goal is something that can be achieved and a clear one. Use WH question like what, when, or how do you want to do it? Because clear aim will show you a clear journey. Now you guys already know about the first habit. Let's move to the second one. That is do one thing at a time. Students should not multitask in order to avoid chaos and be more disciplined. Disciplines. What is the real meaning of disciplines? By Collins Dictionary, disciplines mean a training that produce obedience or self-control. It is often in the form of rules, but it also can be in the form of punishments. In simple words, it is the ability to make yourself do something, even if it is difficult, in order for you to achieve the goal. Masa once said the shortest way to do many things is to do one thing at a time. Last but not least, let's see the third habit, which is manage time, effectively manage the time. To become productive, students should not procrastinate in doing their tasks, because by doing so, it can give a negative impact to the academic performance, like getting low grades. That is what when you realize that you have too much work to do, you will feel the pressure and be more stressed about it. That is why students should not waste their time with useless things. Unfortunately, we have come to the end. Let me summarize all those main points. That is because today we've learned about the three habits of productive students, which are make advanced plans, do one thing at a time, and lastly, effectively manage the time. I hope after knowing all of these three habits, everyone will start doing one of them if possible. All of these points may seem easy, but not when we start doing it. That is why students should do it one by one slowly. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To begin with, my name is Sarah binti Ahmad and today's our topic is three ways to stay motivated. What is really about motivation? What is the term of motivation? Motivation is something that push us to do every day, push us to do your routine every day. For example, you want to wake up every morning, eating your breakfast, or even brush your teeth. And let me explain the first step. Let me explain the first step to stay motivated. The first step to stay motivated is set a clear goal. Set a clear goal, which means it has to be specific and realistic because it will make it less overwhelmed for us, and it is also make it manageable for us to achieve our goal. Now let's move to the second point. Second point is celebrate a small wins. Why? Why do we need to celebrate a small wins? Small wins, which mean we need small wins, which is we acknowledge the progress and acknowledge the progress, which means the trigger some feel good chemical in our brain, which is reinforce the behavior. And let's move to the last point. I'm afraid this will be our last point, inshallah. And the last point, which is uh, do it every day. Why? Why do we need to do it every day? Because if we create a routine, if we treat our mind that heavy responsibility, has heavy assessment or assignment, that it is a routine for us in our daily life. In conclusion, in conclusion, motivation is not something that we have to wait. Instead, we have to find it within ourselves. And my name is Sarah Bintama, and thank you for listening for my speech.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurin Amani and the title of my speech today is Three Signs of Personal Growth. What will come to your mind when someone asks you about personal growth? Well, most of us relate it to that action which makes us a better person than we were yesterday. I believe everyone here have experienced personal growth at least once in their lifetime. For your information, the US Department of Veterans Affairs said that personal development gives you more options and more control over your life, which can boost your confidence and give you a better health. You might wonder, what are the example of personal growth? I could say there's a lot of them. Let's not waste our time and start with the main idea about signs of personal growth. The first signs of personal growth is embracing change. One of the most people don't like change, and some might say it's uncomfortable as it pushes us out from our comfort zone. Many people oppose change. They prefer stability, where it makes them feel safe, as the outcome is predictable. When we are not familiar with something, we tend to fail. Failing is also one of the process you grow. As Marilyn Monroe said, just because you fail one, it doesn't mean you're gonna fail at everything. Embracing changes teaches us to be flexible and resourceful as well as boosting our confidence. Speaking about let's move to the next signs of personal growth. Speaking about personal growth reminds me about one of their crucial aspects, which is practicing self-care. Many people experience mental exhaustion as it is a common struggle in daily life. People need to take care of themselves mentally and physically. Self care does not need to be expensive or complicated, and it can be as easy as saying good job to yourself whenever you complete a task. Practicing self care will stabilize your mental health and increase your confidence in doing your job. Now we're going to elaborate our last idea for this speech. Main struggle that everyone faced was being afraid to say no, mostly caused by the pressure to please people. Some people ends up pushing themselves past their limits while doing so. A tip to avoid being in this situation is by starting to set boundaries and prioritizing your time, especially when you have enough in your hands. Robert D. Smith once said, just because you say no, it doesn't mean you are a bad person. It simply means you are taking care of yourself. Now we have come to an end. Let me briefly summarize the main points of my speech. Today we have learned about the signs of personal growth, which are embracing change, practicing self-care, and not being afraid to say no. We learned that can help embracing changes could also enhance our knowledge. This speech also enhance our knowledge about practicing self-care, which help us to keep us healthy. Lastly, we also learned not being afraid to say no can free up your time for more important tasks. After hearing this speech, I hope that it can help you to practice this self-growth to be a brighter person than you were today. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. My name is Nabila and today I'm going to share 3 ways how to improve our focus. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with our first way, minimize distraction. Distractions are one of the biggest reasons why we can stay focused. So, the first step is identify what distracts you the most. Then, take a simple steps like put your phone on do not disturb mode, use headphones or focus music, and last, clean your workspace. These small changes can create a space where your brain can actually focus. Now, you already know about the first way. You're probably wondering about the second one. So, the second way is practice mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. When you train your brain to focus on just one thing, your productivity naturally improves. Here are some steps to do that. First, take a few deep breaths before starting a task. Then, uh, then now let's go to our final strategy, which is which is sorry. Now let's go to our final strategy, which is setting clear goals. When you're not sure what you're trying to achieve, your mind will wander. So, break your work into small steps. Use tools like the Pomodoro technique, which is work for 25 minutes, then rest for 5. Then, set goals that are specific and measurable. And most importantly, write them down. A to-do list or planner can keep you on track and motivated. Now, we have come to the end. Let me briefly summarize our main points. First, to improve our focus, we need to minimize distraction, practice mindfulness, and set clear goals. These are simple, but if you stick to them, they can change the way you work and the way you think. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Bashira. Today I want to share with you 3 simple but effective ways to deal with stress. Let's be honest, stress is something we all must deal with, right? Whether it's come from school, work, family, or even friends. So let's begin with the first point, which is self-care. Self-care means setting aside time to take care of yourself, especially when you start stressful. One of the most important self-care is getting enough rest. You need to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Why? Because sleep has a huge impact on both your mental and physical health. It helps your brain function properly and regulate your blood pressure. Next, make sure you're eating in balanced meal and drink enough water. Try to follow a food pyramid and don't forget to take a mental break, even just a few minutes. Doing things like you enjoy, like listening to music, reading, or being creative, can refresh your mind. Now, let's move on to the next point, regular exercise. According to the Mayo Clinic, regular exercise can help you manage stress by increasing endorphin production and providing a distraction from daily worries. This endorphin are like your body natural stress reliever. And next, the last point is you need to have supportive people around you. It is important to have someone you trust among your friend or family who will listen you without judging you. Supportive people can lift you up. They encourage you to help you stay confident and remind you that you are not alone. Being around them can reduce stress and prevent depression. Now we have reached at the end of the speech. We cannot always avoid stress, but we can learn how to manage it. I hope this tip can help you manage stress and lead a more peaceful life. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum, good morning to all of you. My name is Alia and I'll be one of your speakers today for the public speaking corner. Have you ever experienced a day where you feel like a bad person? You just refuse to do anything except for staying in bed, or you just refuse to talk to anybody? Well, I have good news for you guys. You might not be a bad person after all, but you might be experiencing what we call a mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion might not seem as serious as depression or anxiety, but ignoring the sign can lead to death. Therefore, I will talk about 3 signs of mental exhaustion, such as constant fatigue, irritability and mood swing, and lack of motivation. Constant fatigue. Do not mistake mental exhaustion to tiredness. The key word here is short term and long term. For the tiredness is temporary feeling of tiredness from the lack of sleep or stress, while mental exhaustion is persistent feeling of fatigue from never-ending source of stress, such as you owe the bank a couple of money, and then at the bank call you every day to return the money back. Probably you will be stressed too. The constant fatigue can manifest itself into 2 ways. First, physical change. You will experience body ache or heart ache that won't go away even after you chow down a couple of paracetamol. You also will feeling a constant need to sleep. Next, you also feel a brain fog, what we call where your brain feels all sluggish and fuzzy. Your brain also feels slower than usual that you will not remember a couple of stuff. Now, now let us move on to irritability and mood swing. Irritability mood swing is when you feel annoyed or bothered at everything. Irritability and mood swing is small thing that not normally bother you but somehow now feel bother and annoy you so much. For example, your friends accidentally spill drink on you. It's not a big deal, but somehow on that day, you just feel so angry and you start yell at them. That was irritability and mood swing. Fun fact, according to Cleveland Clinic, mood swing caused by change in neurotransmitter in brain. Irritability and mood swing not only affect yourself, but also affect people around you that was victim of your emotions. We are done with our second sign of mental exhaustion. Let's move on to our next signs. Our last sign is lack motivation, where one do not have interest or willingness to engage in tasks. Uh, it is when someone find it difficult to do tasks or work-related activities, even if the task is important. Lack of motivation is only a common sign among the student, even the student in UiTM. But it became dangerous if it was accompanied by signs such as you lack of interest and lack of joy when doing an activity. Lack of motivation not only affect yourself but also affect your work performance, especially when you are a student and you rely on assignment and doing work in order to graduate and for your future. Now, before I end my speech, let's do a brief summary of quick recap of the main points. Today, we have learned about three sides of mental exhaustion, which is constant fatigue, irritability, mood swing, and lack motivation. I hope that speech today will at least able to raise awareness among you guys about the dangers of ignoring the mental exhaustion issues. Lastly, I am not a professional, so if you experiencing any of the signs I listed out earlier, please consult to the professionals such as our UiTM counselor. That's all for me. Stay healthy, keep smiling, and take care. Thank you.
Bismillah. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad Ifan bin Azmi. Standing here, I'm going to talk about three things to be avoid before going to sleep. The first is the common thing we always do is using our smartphone before going to bed. Why? Because smartphone give us a blue light that can trick our brain and it give a daytime to us. This thing this thing can give us hard time to fall asleep. So how we avoid it? The first, we can put the phone away by put it on locker or somewhere else safe to prevent us to put it somewhere. And other point is using consuming caffeine before going to sleep. Why? Because consuming caffeine before going to sleep block hormone called melatonin. What is melatonin? Melatonin is hormone who give us tiredness and sleepiness before going to sleep. By consuming a caffeine before going to sleep, it give hard time to fall asleep and prevent us to give a good night rest. But how we supposed to avoid this? We can replace a coffee with another drink like milk, fruit juice, or even a fresh water. Now we jump to the last point is work out to instantly. Why? Because when we use our energy too much before going to sleep, it give us uh, we it give our heart a stress, and suddenly we jump to the bed. It give us a hard time to sleep. And our conclusion today is please avoiding all the thing I said earlier, and I hope you guys can give a good rest night today. Well, thank you for your ear and your time.
Right. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. My name is Nirman and today I'll be talking about three benefits of staying hydrated. All right, let's dive right in with the first benefit, which is decreased joint pain. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most common type of joint pain is called osteoarthritis. According to the research of World Health Organization, osteoarthritis is the degenerative joint condition that causes pain, swelling, and stiffness, affecting a person's ability to move freely. According to National Council on Aging, staying hydrated helps our joints stay well lubricated, which helps reduce friction by creating more of a cushion between the bones. Less friction means smoother moving joints and fewer aches and pains. Let us move on to the next benefit. Staying hydrated gives us more energy. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't drink enough water, we will get dehydrated. As defined by Taylor, dehydration is a critical condition that can cause multiple organ dysfunction, and it could also cause our heart to work harder and make us feel tired. Moreover, staying hydrated helps us prevent kidney stone. Kidney stone is a very dangerous disease, but it can be prevented by staying hydrated. According to National Council on Aging, staying hydrated helps dilute the concentration of minerals in our urinary tract and make stone less likely to happen. This shows that staying hydrated does not only prevent kidney stone, but also prevent any other urinary tract infections in our body. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end. Allow me to briefly summarize my topic. In conclusion, staying hydrated is one of the most simplest way and most powerful way to take care of our body. Drinking enough water gives us more energy, decrease joint pain, and prevent kidney stone. I hope my speech here today are able to remind you that a glass of water is more than just refreshment. It is a step towards a healthier and energized life. Stay hydrated, stay strong. Thank you.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Amira and today I would like to talk about three causes of burnout in students. I will start with a quick question. How many of you have ever felt like a sudden disinterest in things that you used to enjoy? That feeling could be burnout. Burnout comes from prolonged stress that will eventually affect our mental, physical, and emotional wellness. So, what are the causes? The first cause of burnout is academic pressure. As students, we are always trying to maintain our good grades by juggling with deadlines and extracurricular activities. This will eventually push us to the limits if we are unable to manage them well. According to Shu, the greater the learning pressure is, the more student tends to adopt negative coping ways. Now, moving on to the second point, societal expectation. Beyond our own self beyond our own self-expectation, we are expected to fit into a fixed ideal of success. Upholding family image become a priority over personal passion. This, this leads to many cases of burnout. The next point, and perhaps the most silently damaging, is the lack of support. According to Chong, the presence of strong family and social support could help reduce the risk of student burnout. Without someone who we could lean on or share our struggle with, the pressure tends to build up, and that silent suffering is the perfect storm for burnout to take over. And that is the end of it. So let's recap. I have shared about three causes of burnout familiarly in students, happen in students. The first is academic pressure. The second, societal expectation. And the third, lack of emotional support. Each of them are challenging on its own. However, according to Andre Curte, recognition is the first step of managing student burnout. So whenever you feel like the world has become a blur, take a step back, breathe, and remember this: it is not a weakness, but it is us being human. Assalamualaikum and thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Faizal and today I will explain about the three benefits of using social media wisely. Currently, the use of social media via the internet is very popular nowadays. Social media now open up as a convenient and fast reference source in terms of time allocation. So without any ado, let's move on to the first benefits of using social media wisely. One of the first benefits of using social media wisely is enhanced learning and knowledge sharing. Social media provide a powerful platform to users, so users can sharing any good content to others, such as for educational purpose, for tutorials, and for sharing about their experience. People such as students, professional, and hobbies can access information at almost any subject. So let's move to the next point. Next is the second is help stay updated with current news and trends. Social media can receive real-time update with what happened in our whether in our country or abroad. So users can get the following news trend with following the popular channels such as for Bulletin TV3, Astro Awani and The Star. Users can receive real-time information with following this social media. Now let's move to the third one. The third is social media can strengthen relationship with family and friends. Social media is one of the greatest benefits to users because users can stay connected with their family and friends no matter how far they are. Social media Social media such as YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, and so on can do frequently communication with our family and friends, so it can strengthen our bond relationship with each other. So let me summarize about my topic. In conclusion, I hope after hearing my speech, you always try using it wisely to get the benefits of using social media. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Darin. Today I would like to talk about three things to avoid posting online. Everyone here has social media, right? And you guys must post something inside it too. But have you guys ever considered that what you post online might become the reason you get scammed, hacked, or stalked? Well, don't worry. Here am I gonna share three important ones to protect yourself from becoming a target. The first one is personal information. Personal information such as your full name, your birth date, or address is just small detail about yourself, but it can used by fraudster to create fake identity and use your information. Here's what you can do. Always do double check and you watch your video or photo several times before you posting it. You never know that you just small sharing. According to Amy Blaine 2019, she said, "Don't hesitate to ask your friend to remove you from their post. You never know. You can never assume the information you post is private." The second one, which is travel plans. Nowadays, a lot of people love to share their upcoming plans. I mean, it's not wrong when you're feeling excited to tell about it, but this can lead you to danger because you not only just sharing where you're going, but also letting them know that your house will be empty. To prevent this issue, you can post once you're home safely. From Film Ashanti 2024, say the best to keep anything vague. Definitely no dates. And the last one is personal conversation. personal conversation should only be kept between you and the people involved. This can lead to miscommunication to the people who will be able to read them, or worse, it can be shared to people who are not meant to see it. Never post when you are badmouthing someone, especially when you are badmouthing your employees, colleagues, or clients. This could lead you to losing your job. If you really want to post it, make sure it's harmless, meant for laugh and not for gossip. Now, here comes the end. Today, we have learned about 3 things to avoid posting online, which are personal information, travel plans, and personal conversation. After hearing my informative speech, I hope you can be more aware and careful while using social media. That's it for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning to everyone. My name is Umaira. I would like to share with you guys 3 ways of using social media for learning. In today's lifetime, consider how often we actually use our social media, whether it be to check on updates, scroll on TikTok, watching Reels, YouTube Short. We should also consider that this platform can also become a powerful tool for us in terms of learning. Without further ado, let's start with our first point, which is joining an educational group. Educational group is a platform where learners around the world can actually connect with each other to share their notes, discuss their assignment, share study tips, and even update deadline about the assignment. For example of the platform that we as a student use it religiously is WhatsApp and Telegram. According to Yunus 2019, he stated that by being a part of a learning community can actually improve our motivation and create a sense of accountability. Now, let's move on to our next point. It is a following educational page and also an influencer. On a platform, for example, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, there's a lot of educator, subject expert, and even academic influencer. Instead of scrolling on our phone aimlessly, we as a student can actually turn our feed into a learning stream. And the best part of it is that once you actually follow a few of these educational page, it will start to recommend to you a similar content. It will actually expand your learning more. Now, last point, it will be sharing and collaborating on this platform. This tool actually allows students to share their slides, their document, video in a real lifetime so that everyone in the group can actually contribute at the same time. For example, collaboration on a platform such as Google Document, Microsoft Word with your group mate, you can actually do the assignment, co-edit the assignment and an essay at the same time. Isn't that great? It does not only improve your academic performance, but it also helps you to develop an essential skill, which is digital literacy and a teamwork. Now we have come to the end of my speech. Let me just briefly summarize to you guys the main point of it, whatever I said. First, there's a lot of benefit of joining educational group. Second, by following an educational page, can actually turn our feed into a learning stream. Thirdly, sharing and collaborating on project can actually help to build our creativity and the teamwork. That's all from me, Myra. I hope all of you guys can utilize our social media properly next time. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm Sophie. Today I'm going to share with you real life versus online life. Imagine having hundreds of online friends, yet you feel isolated in a room by yourself. For many of us, online life has become as real as the physical world we live in today. But do you know the meaning of online life and real life? Online life is a part of a person's life that happen on the internet, including activities on the social media. Meanwhile, in real life is a part of a person's life that occurs in the physical world that involving face-to-face interaction. Now let's move straight forward to our point. My first point my first point is how experience affect real life and online life. Nowadays, many people experience even through camera lens by only capturing the moment rather than fully enjoying them. Psychologists in 2011, which is Misa and Stoker, have observed that the constant impulse to capture and record things can take us out of the present. This habit can reduce emotional connection to real world and create mental distraction.
Studies show that when people focus on capturing the moment, they are most likely to remember fewer details later. Over time, this can cause real-world experience feel less valuable unless they are shared and validated online. Now, let's move on to my next point, which is how time affect real life and online life. In real life, messages usually take really long to reach us, especially long before internet existed. For example, news can only be read on newspaper early in the morning. Meanwhile, online content usually move fast. For example, messages, news, and update come rapidly every single second. This can make us to expect speed and instant gratification. This create unrealistic expectation for instant reply in relationship or even impatient with everyday tasks like waiting in line or having a slow conversation. Over time, our brain become to seek stimulation which real work cannot provide. Finally, I'm going to move on to my last point, which is how accountability affect real life and online life. In real life, action usually have a direct visible consequences. For example, if you insult someone, you may result seeing their hurt expectation, damaging your relationship, or even causing confrontation. Meanwhile, in online, anonymity and physical distance make it easier to say or do things without facing the emotional impact. The online disinhibition effect, identified by psychologist called John Suller, explained why people act more boldly and rudely online rather than in person. It is because they feel anonymous, invisible, and disconnected from the consequences. This often leads to behavior like oversharing, cyberbullying, and even use fake identities. This can lead into real life behavior, making people more passive aggressive and avoidant in real life. As we have seen, real life and online life may look similar on the surface, yet they are very different. Awareness is the first step to manage both spaces in healthy and balanced way. By understanding these three differences, we may rediscover a deeper value in life, face-to-face relationship, and even moments that don't need to be posted. I hope the thought that I shared today will help you. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Noor Atira and today I'm going to talk about three ways smartphone make our life easier. Smartphone smartphone is Smartphone has helped us revolutionize how we communicate. The existence of messaging apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram has helped us communicate so much better. This app have a feature where you can do video calls. Video calls is not only a call with audio but also with video, and it allows us to connect with more than one people at the same time. Now let's move on to the next point, which is increasing productivity. Smartphone can serve as a powerful personal organizer as it can keep us reminded about our schedule, making sure we're not missing out on any of our important plan, which is for me is very convenient. Moreover, smartphone also consolidate banking, shopping, work related function all in a single device, which is will make our daily life management more efficient. Now let's move on to the next point, which is emergency assistance. Smartphone is extremely important during emergency situation. They let users dial emergency services like 999 even without credit or signal. They also let users designate emergency contact for quick access during critical moments. This way, this level of support is especially reassuring when you're traveling alone, so it will make you feel more secure about your own safety. To conclude, today we have explored the three significant ways smartphone make our life easier. That is enhancing communication, increasing productivity, and emergency assistance. I hope this can help shift your perspective from seeing smartphone as a merely entertainment device to recognizing their broader value. That's all from me. Thank you.
Audience, a great applause to our speakers today. Congratulations on successfully completing the live speech. Now, it is time for the final part of the program. I would like to request Puan Warohani and Puan Azlina to present certificate of appreciation to others. Please welcome our first speaker, Nur Alia Hanan binti Mat Sulaiman. Our second speaker, Nur Alisha binti Cik Muhammad Syafiee. Please welcome Sahira binti Ahmad. Next, Nurin Amani binti Ahmad Maulana. Next, Wan Nur Nabilah Insyirah binti Wan Ruzaini. Please welcome Aunia Bashirah Fakihah binti Hasin. Our lovely next speaker, Alia Shazlana binti Muhammad Yusri. Next, Muhammad Irfan bin Azmi. Our next great speaker, Muhammad Nirman Atif bin Muhammad Azrul Rizal. Please welcome Nurul Amiratul Soleha binti Johari. Clap for Faizal Shakirin bin Romli. Our next speaker, Darin Safia Hani binti Nuraidi. Umairah binti Syamsul Nizam. Our lovely speaker, Nurin Sofia binti Suziana. And last but not least, Nur Atirah binti Muhammad Rahalim. Thank you for all the speakers. Thank you, Puan Wan Rani and Puan Azlina, for presenting. Please.